Good morning, this is ESPN. I'm Seth Letourneau.
And I'm Zach Lubers. Today we're looking into college athletes and how playing sports affects their academics. Personally, Seth, I'd say that playing sports helps student athletes earn higher grades.
I agree with you, Zach. I think that sports can affect the education system because it helps children to learn good work ethics and motivation.
One story of being a student athlete helping academically is Kelby Stuckey. Stuckey played center for Southwest Missouri State from 1985 to 89. He was barely recruited out of high school and was nothing special academically. However, his work ethic changed both of those. Stuckey was the starting center for a team that won 3 conference championships and 3 NCAA tournament berths. He ended up playing professionally in Germany and is currently a lawyer in Missouri, proving that hard work really does pay off. As stated by Gary D. Funk in Major Violation.
One example of sports being a disadvantage is in Pass to Play by Richard E. Lapchick. For those of you who do not know Fred Butler, he was a young athlete who excelled in many sports at a young age. He was able to skip a few grades in elementary school solely on his athletic ability. His mother did not like that and wanted to have him held back, but the school promoted him anyways. This happened in middle school as well, and before he knew it, Fred was in high school playing football and didn't know how to read. In high school, he bypassed all his classes with a C average because of some special arrangements, and later received a football scholarship to El Camino Junior College with only a 2nd grade reading level. 2 years later, he transferred to LA State, and within months he failed out, had no scholarships, and had a 2nd grade education. Now no one knows where he is, and it's like he never existed. So Zach, did you play high school sports?
Yes, Seth, I played hockey and lacrosse.
Okay, do you think that motivated you to do better in school?
I think it helped me a lot because my coaches really pushed me to get good grades and do my best in everything, so it definitely helped me a lot. What about you?
I played high school football, and I think that really motivated me in the academic field because it pushed me to do better and get better grades, and it also kept me out of trouble.
After this short commercial break, we'll be back with some information about some of your favorite athletes and how they performed in college.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Hi, welcome back to Sports Center. We'll now present you with some facts about your favorite athletes and how they performed academically in college. Peyton Manning graduated from Tennessee with a 3.61 GPA. He was a double major in speech communication and business and completed his 4-year degrees in 3 years and graduated his junior year.
Michael Jordan majored in cultural geography at the University of North Carolina. He was a shooting guard in basketball and obtained a 3.3 GPA.
Chris Paul, one of the top point guards in the NBA today, went to Wake Forest University. He maintained a 3.21 GPA, was an undecided major, and left school after his sophomore year to join the NBA.
Tim Tebow was a quarterback at the University of Florida and obtained a 3.66 while studying family, youth, and community science. Now for an exclusive interview with the UNC Charlotte athlete. I'm here with Sarah Fell from the UNC Charlotte track and field team. Sarah's going to answer a few questions for us about athletics and academics. Sarah, overall, would you say that playing sports helps you or hurts you academically?
I think it helps and hurts me as an athlete. I have many resources I can go to. We have our own tutoring system. We also have a place that we can study, but then again, I don't have a lot of time to actually sit down and do my homework, and I'm usually tired a lot too, so I think that's where it kind of like helps but also hurts me.
Okay. Do you think your grades would be better if you weren't an athlete?
No, because I think if I wasn't involved in athletics, I'd probably party a lot, and I'd probably be into like some bad things like drugs. And I also think I wouldn't have the motivation to like keep my grades up because as an athlete, I had to have a certain GPA in order to be eligible. So I think that really like helps me like keep on top of my studying grades.
Okay. What are some factors that help you?
Some factors that help me are just like my teammates around me when I can go into study hall. There are always like other athletes around me motivating me to like kind of do my work. Like I don't want to just sit around because then I feel like the odd one out. And I think also we get kind of like rewarded for doing well. So I think that really just makes me want to do better and it drives me to be the best at what I can be.
All right. Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are your stress levels at typically?
They're probably an 8 or a 9, especially right now during exams, kind of. They're way up there. I'm really stressed out a lot, especially when all my teachers pile on all that stuff and when tests are coming up, because I want to go to practice and give 100%, but I come back after and I'm usually exhausted. I don't feel motivated to study, so usually my stress levels are pretty high.
Okay, what if you weren't an athlete?
I feel like my stress levels would be a little bit lower because I'd have more time on my hands, but then again, I think it relates back to the whole not being as motivated to keep up with my grades. So, I mean, my stress level would probably be just as high because I'd probably be doing a lot worse in my classes, and nobody wants to explain that to their parents. So, I just think that either way around, my stress levels would be pretty high.
All right, thank you, Sarah. This is Seth Letourneau, ESPN News.
So Seth, I'd say that playing sports helps athletes academically. I think Sarah Fell, our interviewee, was a perfect example of how sports helps athletes academically. Despite her high stress levels and busy schedule, she still maintains a good GPA due to factors such as a minimum GPA requirement and study hall sessions.
I agree with you, Zach. I think sports helps academics because it motivates the athletes to do better in school, and it keeps them out of trouble.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
That concludes the night. What's that? Breaking news, ESPN just brought out the Dr. Phil show, so that'll be on next. Thank you. I'm Seth Letourneau.
I'm Zach Lubers.
Good night.
Coming up. Let's do it. I want you to get excited about your life.
Here we go, in 10.
Stand by, camera 6. If it's happening now, we're going to deal with it now.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. I'm taking people with real problems and moving them into the Dr. Phil.
Hello, my name is Adam Doyle, and I'll be filling in for Dr. Phil today. This segment will be on the motivation of college students. Today I'll be interviewing one college student who is very motivated, and the next who is not motivated at all. Before we introduce our unmotivated student for today, this is Mr. Johnson, the student's father. I will be asking him some questions before his son comes in. Okay, Mr. Johnson, do you support your child financially, and how much?
I support him a lot. I give him everything he wants, everything he needs. He has all the tools he has to be successful.
Well, according to an article by KJ Dell that I read last night, parents aren't supposed to support their child financially that much, or it leads to more partying and less motivation. Okay, Mr. Johnson, my next question for you is, do you praise him often?
Am I supposed to praise the F's he brings home?
There's nothing to praise when he fails every class.
That is true. But it says here in an article by Ian Crone that students of this generation require praise in order to succeed in school. Okay, my next question for you, Mr. Johnson, is why do you think your child is so unmotivated?
Well, that's why I'm here, Dr. Adam. I don't understand it. I give him everything he needs to do well, but he just isn't. I
understand. Well, kids these days, they need praise as well as they need to earn their way through school sometimes so they can learn for themselves. And here's our unmotivated student for the day. This is our unmotivated student today. His name is Alexis. Alexis, can I please ask you to take off your hat? Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I have a couple questions for you, Alexis. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you?
That doesn't matter. On a scale of 1 to stupid, you're ugly.
Huh, makes sense. So why are you so unmotivated?
Doesn't matter. I don't care. My family don't care. It's not my money. I mean, it's whatever, man. I don't need to go to class.
Okay, Javi, I have a couple of questions for you. My first one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you?
I'd say at this point, I'm a 10.
Wow, that's very impressive. Okay, so what do you think is the source of your motivation?
Well, honestly, the source of my motivation is my friends, so friendship. Earlier in the semester, like first semester, I'd say I started off a little bit rough. Like my GPA ended up being very low. It was a 2.06. So I figured that I had to do something to improve because I want to be successful. And so I have two friends who live on the 9th floor. Their names are Chris and Arturo, and they changed my life for the better. They told me that I should stop doing the things I was doing that prevented me from getting a good GPA last semester, and that I should make the changes. And those changes, the ones I've made, of course, have made me successful, and then my motivation stemmed from them. So my motivation created my success.
Wow.
So I think that at this point, especially with an expected GPA of a 3.8, motivation is important, and motivation got me to be successful. So that's why my motivation level is at a 10 right now, because I'm going to constantly.
That's a great story, Javi.
Thanks.
And that's our program for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Athlete helps you or hurts you academically?
I think it really helps. I can't take a mark.
I'm here with Sarah.
He just like came in.
I didn't.
Sarah Bell from the UNC Charlotte track team. What are some factors in class that help you? I didn't know.
One story of.
Shit, dude, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
As stated by Gary D. Funk in.
Go. Oh, it's recording. University of Florida. He played. Did I say quarterback already?
Yeah.
All right, we'll just cut that.
So Seth, I'd say that playing sports helps athletes.
Don't look at me. Hello, my name is Adam Doyle, and I'll be filling it.
You were making fun of us.
Because you guys were just stupid.